Wow. Nice little fade down there in the studio, TB.
He's growing.
And that's what today's episode is about. Station to Station was recorded at Cherokee Studios in Los Angeles between September and November of 1975. According to Emily Barker of NME, Bowie starved his body of all nutrients besides milk, red peppers, and cocaine. During the song's recording, Bowie would recall later that he could not remember recording the album at all, saying, "I only have flashes of making it." Author David Buckley states that Bowie's only memory of the session was standing with lead guitarist Earl Slick in the studio and asking him to play a Chuck Berry riff in the same key throughout the opening of Station to Station. What a wild, wild time.
Yeah. So he falls apart, makes this album. He's being this like hectic, the Thin White Duke character, and then he goes to Berlin with Iggy Pop just to like get their shit together. Makes incredible albums. He makes Heroes, and I can't think of the other one off the top of my head. But that moves me into like then my my next genre that I become obsessed with, which is called Krautrock.
Krautrock.
I've been like,
he's ready,
dying. And you're going to do it so much better than me. You're going to really like this because, mate, a bit of Mount Kimby is Krautrock influence. Sorry?
I think a little bit of information I know about you, Tom, it might be time. So, origins of Krautrock.
I'm so glad I came on this podcast.
Yes.
So, the origins of Krautrock. World War II, not a very good time for lots of people, but for Germany, massive depression again afterwards. And there's like a generation of youth coming through after World War II where are like, we don't want anything to do with that. Like, look at this world we've grown up into. Let's make the most fucking progressive, experimental music ever. So there's these amazing bands called Can or Noi or Cluster or Harmonia or Ashra or
New.
Yep, New, Noi, New.
Yeah.
Ashra, who else is there? Anyway, there's so many of them. And basically what the rhythm of it is a really steady like metronome drum beat, like a dooka chicka dooka chicka dooka ch, and like a really steady bass line, like dun 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 dun, and then just the craziest synths and like rah 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 shit over it, and it's just like my favorite type of music.
It interjects with the same key points that I've always brought up at the start of like real progressive music, which is female contraception, drug taking, and like post World War II, and the start of electronic instruments.
Yeah,
right. So
Kraftwerk are born out of this.
Kraftwerk are born out of Krautrock, and out of Kraftwerk, techno was born in Detroit.
So you guys are just hitting three more fundamental to everything that I've ever loved.
The music map genealogy, like you can see it.
And Can in particular, like a crazy story. So they're these German guys. They've got a singer who is an American. What's it called when you flee the army? AWOL
you deserter? A deserter?
Yeah, he was a deserter. So they've got this American singer. He loses his mind. They have to perform a gig. So they're like, we don't have a singer. What are we going to do? And they see this like Japanese dude busking. He's a guy named Damo Suzuki. And they go, do you want to be our singer? So they get this like kind of like this random dude to become their singer, who ends up just being the kind of the complete package. Like it just makes the band a whole nother like level of evolution. And the reason why, there's two parts to our conversation. So one part is Brian Eno was hanging out at this time and taking a lot of these ideas. Yep. So it's kind of a bit controversial because he kind of got influence and then took a lot of the ideas and made music off that. But the other reason why I wanted to share it was this was around the time in my 20s where I've gone on my own musical journey and I'm like, Dad, it's time. Like I'm not defensive about jazz music anymore. I'm more open. I'm not that angsty teen that only wants to listen to like Limp Bizkit and swear. Like teach me, Father, teach me. It's
Yeah,
like, it feels
cool.
like Star Wars or something. So that's when we'd have the sessions with Dad and my mate Kirk, where he'd sit us down, we'd drink a bottle of wine, and he would pick out certain records, and that's when and play them in their entirety. So that was Fela Kuti, Head Coffin for a State with a Waka Waka Waka, and then he plays me this song Tago Mago by Can, and it's this 18-minute song, and it's literally just like the same riff over and over, and I just don't get sick of it. And then it just branched me into this whole other world.
It's beautiful. You were having Pass the Orcs sessions. You were the original Pass the Orcs.
It's almost as if this is meant to be your show.
Well, no.
It's our show.
You guys took a risk. So my question to you guys is, you gambled. This could have been a fucking disaster.
It's all good.
It's fine. No, it was all professional. It was legit. I know, Tom, and I'm so sorry to hear that your old man passed, but do you have, what's a musical memory you have with the old man?
Yeah. No, thank you, man. I appreciate it. And we cover on my old man a bit. And my resounding sentiment is always I just have so much love for him, and I love talking about him and sharing stories, because it's what kind of keeps the whole thing alive. And as I have my own children, I feel more and more each day like him. I'm like, oh fuck, this is the same thing.
Yeah,
I'm in this cycle of samsara for sure. But
what did he like? What music did he like?
He was really big on Steely Dan. So my dad was a crime reporter for the big part of his life, and he's from Newcastle in New South Wales, and and he's written some crazy articles, and then he was into politics, and then he was an editor, but he was a journo, and so he used to shelter me from a lot of his work. And same with violence, and I wasn't allowed to watch WWE. I wasn't allowed to watch Dragon Ball Z. There was just a few things that it was my old man would be like, no, there's enough violence and hatred and pain in the world. You're a kid. You don't need to be subscribing to this stuff. And I think he knew how delicate, you are what you eat is, of course, in one sense, at least with TV. So I have, memories of him playing those tunes, a little bit of Queen as well. I've talked about some Rotto memories, but my sister made him a playlist, and so Mum would always wrestle the Orcs off. Well, she was the head. She was the head. She would play lots of West Coast country rock, Jackson Browne and a bit of Glenn
Eagles.
Campbell and Eagles and Neil Diamond, of course. And so Dad would only get a few tracks in every now and then, but kind of Steely Dan. He then very much got into Paul Dempsey and started onto the Killing Heidi.
Wow.
Yeah, and a few of these kind of different artists that we've explored extensively on this show, man. Extensively.
Thank you.
Yeah, and there was also a time which I've talked about where he, like I said, he worked really hard, and he would sometimes be interviewing or writing a story about someone that, had some relevance to me. And once he brought me home this signed poster from Glenn Jakovic, because I just love the Eagles.
Big centre-half back.
Which I still have. And the other time he brought me home 65 individual Jamiroquai single.
Oh, how did Jamiroquai not make it into my 20?
Yeah. We've been propping him up, man. So it's just I had, and you're 8 or something, and you're materialist and trying to figure things out, and you're just putting posters up in my room, and now I've got the CD player and got some piece of junk off the side of the road, so I put it on the chair in my room, and Dad's got 60 Jamiroquai CDs, so they're just all right, perfect, they're just going right there, and that was my belongings. So that's my musical history with my dad, Matt.
My dad was I think I've probably told this one. My dad was he doesn't necessarily have a great sense of rhythm.
Yeah.
And he would tap on the steering wheel, and then I'm coming into my actually rhythm's extremely natural to me. I'm better than you. And I'd be like, dude, you're out of time. Stop. And then I kind of just got to this stage where I was just he's actually really enjoying himself. I don't need to shit on him. He's having a great time. And he would always they would always bring CDs back from Bali. They'd go on trips, come back with their mates, and they just had a bunch of Crowdy House, Counting Crows, just random stuff. And, you know, that celebration, that family getting together, eating food, friends coming over, we're cooking for you. I'll go to the cellar. Like, this is the time to open the nice wine. There was never a great sound system in our house, so I'd use the DVD player and use the speakers off the TV. And I would just sort of soundtrack slowly these dinner parties. And just like, all right, Van Morrison. They like Van Morrison. I'll chuck that on. Or Fleetwood Mac. And the track Say You Love Me, that just sticks out, you know. And it's that celebration stuff. And I was just like, I'm never shitting on him having bad rhythm again. He's enjoying it in his own way.
Good on you from DJing from a DVD player. That's
yeah, there was no mixing, man. There was no mixing like Tom is in the studio now.
I should have seen him at my Bucks, man.
Well, that's like going down in history. I don't think I'll be able to do it again, eh? 9 hours of power, man.
Whoa.
Yeah, I think you'd be a fucking great DJ. What are we playing now?
Well, I feel like we really built up Krautrock for young Tom Tom. So let's
let's go there.
Young Tom Tom. I'm not dropping that ever. Eh?
So yeah, there's 2 tracks. There's Hello Gallo by Noi or New, and that's just like real driving. Like that is Krautrock. And then Can's got a song called Moonshake, which is going to be my shortest song on the playlist. I think it's like three minutes.
Wow, you're kidding.
Everything's been 10 minutes and beyond. So yeah, maybe let's start with Moonshake because that will get him in. He'll go, oh yeah. And then Hello Gallo, he's a bit more accustomed, he's a bit more acclimatized, and he'll go, okay, yep, I could build it up.
Here's some Krautrock. This is Pass the Orcs.